Did you notice how everything around you gets more expensive every single year? That same $5 burger you buy today used to be $2 when you were a kid. Same brand, same size, just more money. So, who increased the price? Is it just greedy corporations? Is it the government printing money like it's monopoly? Or is it a natural part of a healthy economy? Today, we're demystifying the invisible tax that's shrinking your paycheck, and you are going to know how to save yourself from these thieves. So, what is inflation? Most people think inflation is just prices going up, but technically, it's the purchasing power of your money going down. Imagine you wake up tomorrow, and suddenly, everyone has double the money in their bank account. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the problem. If everyone has more money, then money becomes less special. And when money becomes less valuable, prices go up. And that's inflation. The big three causes of inflation. First, demand pull inflation. This is the most common form of inflation. It happens when the economy is running hot. Imagine a sudden craze for a new VR headset. Everyone gets a stimulus check, or a tax cut at the same time. Suddenly, 10,000 people want a headset, but the factory only made 1,000. The result: the manufacturer raises the price from $500 to $800, not because the headset got better, but because the demand pulled the price up. This often happens when unemployment is low. When everyone has a job, they spend more. Companies see the spending, realize they can't keep up with supply, and hike prices to maintain their margins. Second, cost push inflation. This is the bad kind of inflation. It doesn't happen because people are rich. It happens because producing things in supply chain got more expensive. Let's look at the example of coffee shop. If the price of raw coffee beans doubles due to a drought in Brazil, and the price of electricity to run the espresso machine spikes, the shop owner has to charge you $7 for a latte instead of $5 just to stay in business. This is the domino effect. Cost push inflation is often triggered when supply gets disrupted due to wars, pandemics, or disasters. Prices start rising across the market. Third, built-in inflation. This is the psychological loop called the wage price spiral. Once people expect prices to rise, their behavior actually causes prices to rise, turning the expectation into a self-fulfilling prophecy.
The example. Imagine you're a software engineer. You notice that rent and groceries have gone up 10%. You go to your boss and say, "I need a 10% raise just to stay even." Your boss agrees and gives it to you, but now the company's costs have increased. To maintain profits, the company raises the price of its software. Now other businesses that use this software face higher costs. They respond the same way, asking for higher wages and increasing their own prices. And this cycle keeps repeating. They create a wage price spiral. Workers expect prices to rise, so they demand higher wages. To pay those wages, businesses raise prices. It's a circle that's hard to break. This is why central banks talk so much about inflation expectations. If the public believes inflation will be 2%, it usually stays there. If we believe it will be 10%, we act in ways that make it 10%.
So, is inflation always bad? You'd think 0% inflation would be the goal, right? Surprisingly, no. Most central banks, like the Fed in the US, actually aim for 2% inflation. Why? Because if prices are falling, means deflation, people stop spending. They think, why buy a car today if it'll be cheaper next month? If everyone stops spending, the economy collapses. A little bit of inflation acts like a carrot on a stick, keeping the gears of the economy turning. When inflation gets too spicy, the central banks step in with their favorite tool: interest rates. By raising interest rates, they make it more expensive to borrow money. People buy fewer houses and cars, businesses scale back, and the economy cools down. It's a blunt instrument, and it usually hurts, but it's the main way to bring prices back to earth.
And final part, how to save yourself from inflation.
Inflation is basically the price we pay for a growing economy. But when it gets out of hand, it can feel like you're running on a treadmill that's slowly speeding up. The smartest way to protect yourself is simple. Own things that grow faster than inflation. That could be stocks, real estate, a business, or even investing in yourself, because better skills usually lead to better income over time.
Thanks for watching. On this channel, we make complex topics easy to understand with simple sketches and visual explanations. If you enjoyed learning in a simple and fun way, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.